Alright, today we're going to be taking a quick look at this EleMake smart deadbolt set. And like a lot of the smart locks and deadbolts that are hitting the market, this thing has a lot of options with regards to how you unlock your door. It's Bluetooth enabled, it's got a biometric fingerprint scanner. You can set PIN codes. You can use RFID cards, which are the near field communication cards that you might use to get into your office building and such. It includes two. It's got an app that you can use to unlock it as well. Now, if you purchase an additional Bluetooth gateway, you can also tie this thing into Alexa or Google Home, and you can also connect to it using the app over the internet. Okay, so it's got a lot of features. I'm going to do a quick little installation video, and then we'll run through some of the features. But I will say that the manufacturer has a fairly nice installation video, and I'm going to link to this product down below so that you can read additional reviews and check out their installation video. Alright, let's go take a quick look and see what's included in the box, and then we'll get it installed. Alright, we have Mr. Connor, our good boy, helping us out in the garage today, ready to spring into action. I will say that everything was really nicely packaged. It includes a very thorough installation manual that covers not only the hardware installation, but also installation of the app and initial setup. Here's the interior portion, and you will need 4 AA batteries. I will say also, I didn't mention that the exterior portion of the Deadbolt set is, it has an IP65 water resistance rating, so it's weather resistant. Okay, this inset, it's variable. You can adjust it from 2 3/4 to 2 3/8. It's marked there. It's got a door position sensor, so after you unlock the deadbolt and when you close the door, you can set it to auto relock. I'm not sure how that's going to fit with my door frame, but I'll make it work. I may have to route out the molding a little bit or something, okay? And this is an interior bracket that supports this, and then you've got the hardware. These are the 2 RFID cards, okay? They are 13.56 megahertz. It's noted right on there. I'm sure you can get others, additionals, and if you're already using an RFID card for other purposes, you may be able to register it. I don't know. I'm assuming so. It does include, as I mentioned, a couple of good old-fashioned keys, and they give you a little suction cup. I'm not sure if they think you're just going to stick this to a window outside. And the door we're installing in today already has a deadbolt, but if you're installing in a door that doesn't have a deadbolt, they give you a template, which I think is kind of nice. Alright, the first thing we'll do is install the bolt itself, and you want to look for the position indicator with the arrow pointing up. That'll slide in just like that. Now, you want to make sure that it's centered like that. Otherwise, you may need to adjust the inset. Mine is at 2 3/8, but again, as I mentioned before, it can be adjusted to 2 3/4, okay? So we're going to use the provided screws here and just get that screwed in. And please excuse my dog panting. Connor is excited to be out here with us today. Okay, so I did a little dry fit on this installation, and I can see that I have room for this post. They have it shown as optional in the manual, but I'm going to install it because it's just one more attachment point between the front and the back. So I'm going to install it because I have room for it. If you don't have room for it in your cutout, no big deal, right? The other thing I wanted to point out, and I'm going to have to go back and edit my intro or my little walkthrough of the equipment, is what is the suction cup for? It's for this magnetic key cover. Okay, so the key slot for your manual key is covered with this magnetic cover, and they gave you a suction cup to get that out. So, a little editing work on my part there in the intro. Alright, so here we go. Again, I'm going to make sure that the cable is below this, and that's the way they show it in the installation video on the EleMake site, but also because when the lock mechanism is engaged and disengaged, there's some movement up here, and that could potentially chafe the cable. Down below, there's none, okay? So we're just going to slide that below, line up the slot here, and put it through. And again, if you don't have room for the top post, no big deal. Okay, obviously I need to repaint the door, but the panel does cover up the paint discrepancy pretty well. So you can see I have the cable coming out here on the inside of the door, below the lock mechanism, below the post and everything, okay? At this point, just test to make sure that it's working, and you can see this is why you don't want the cable up above, okay? So what we're going to do is grab the bracket. The bracket's got these posts here. Those are going to go in the lower posts, and the cable goes in this cutout, okay? Line up the lower posts, just like that, okay? Now, we have 3 points that are going to connect this inner bracket to the outer assembly, as opposed to just the 2. Again, 2 would hold it just fine. Just going to get everything finger tight here. Alright, so there's a couple things I want to cover here before we go ahead and install this. The manual is specific about whether or not your door is a right-hand door or a left-hand door, and I thought mine was a right-hand door based on the diagram, but because my door opens inward, it's going to be a left-hand door. So for a left-hand door, you want to start with the thumb switch in that position, and if it's a right-hand door, it needs to be in the vertical position. The other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug in the door position sensor, and it's really hard to see, but this is notched, okay? So on mine, the red wire is going to be to the inside, okay? Yours may be different, but basically you want to look for a little notch to ensure that you're getting this installed correctly. And needle nose pliers might make it easier, but if you get it lined up, I think you probably just heard it go in, okay? So I'm just going to test this out. And obviously when we install this, we want to make sure our gasket's in a good position, but essentially that door position sensor is going to come down like this and mount on the door, kind of like that, okay? And then there's another portion of it that mounts on the door jamb or the frame, and it's probably a magnet, and then this is what's going to tell the lock mechanism that the door has been closed after it's been unlocked and opened. All right, let's go ahead and get this installed. And again, you may not be able to see plugging this in, but I'll try to describe it as best as I can. Okay, so on this cable, there's a clip, and that clip essentially goes on the top or the outside, right? So let's see if I can get some of it into view here. Essentially it's going to go like that, but probably not going to be able to show you this process because it's limited view, but I don't know if you heard it just clip in there, but you can feel it when it goes, okay? It's like other automotive electronic connections, that type of thing, okay? We're just going to position this, and again, on my door, that needs to be horizontal. We're going to line that up with the slot. This is going to come out through a little cutout in the gasket, and we're going to make sure our gasket is in good shape all the way around. Okay, they provide 3 screws to attach this, and when I watched the video on the EleMake site, I thought that they were actually screwing this mechanism or this piece into the door itself, but they're not. These go into the bracket. This black screw, machine screw, goes in the bottom here. And we'll see if we can get it started here. I'm just going to get everything kind of threaded first. Try to get it lined up. Then you've got these 2 short screws. Okay. And again, you don't want to go crazy with it. You don't want it to be loose or fall off, but also you don't want to over tighten it. Alright, at this point, I've tested this out. I think it's going to work fine. I think I'm just going to use the double stick tape for now, but there are plugs here. You can use screws. I don't know that I'm going to screw it into the door, but double stick tape on wood doesn't always work all that well. And this is indeed a magnet. Okay, so this is going to sit like this, and then this is going to sit like this. I don't know how close they need to be, but I'm going to guess that's close enough. And I'm sure everybody knows how to put batteries in, but let's just go ahead and pop them in place here. Incidentally, the batteries were not included, but that's okay. Alright, now at this point, we need to... Oh, it just worked itself, so it just unlocked the door. Alright, so at this point I have the app talking to the lock. What I'm going to do is take some time, learn about the functionality, and I have a good way to mirror my phone. I can't stand, videos where people are trying to hold their phone up in front of the lens. I've done a couple of things like that, and it doesn't work well. So I have a good way to mirror the phone. I'm going to get the functionality working and learn about it. I'm going to come back and continue on with the video. Alright, so I have a camera on the lock and I have my phone mirrored to my computer. I'm just going to go ahead and connect to the lock with the app. Okay, now at this point, obviously I have it open so you can see the bolt itself. I'm just going to go ahead and press and hold here. Okay, and then you can do the same thing to lock it. Alright, so now what I'll do is I'll show you how to configure some of the other entry methods here. I'm going to go to settings in the lower right. Let's do a fingerprint or a thumbprint first. Go ahead and hit the plus button in the upper right. You can have multiple users. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say start capturing.
Enroll begin. Enroll again. Enroll again. Enroll again. Enroll again. Enroll success.
And we'll give it a name here. All right, so let's test it.
Unlocked. Unlocked.
Okay. Now we can also configure a password. It's got to be 6 to 10 digits. Let's do 112233. Give it a name here.
Password set successfully.
Okay.
Unlocked.
Okay. So that's how easy it is to program this lock. Let's go ahead and register a card because it did include 2 cards here. I'm just going to say add a card. Select the user.
Enroll begin. Enroll success.
And we'll just give it a name here. Let's test it out. Alright, so that's really how easy it is. Now I will say that there's other functionality such as Google Home and Alexa. And I do have a Google Home, but it's not nearby. And in order to get this onto your Wi-Fi or your home network, you have to have an additional gateway device, a Bluetooth gateway. And I don't have that. It's not included. It's something I may get though, and if I do, I'll do another video on it. But that's really how easy it is to program this this lock. Okay, and the other thing I guess I'll show is you can do temporary passwords as well. So you can do a one-time password, periodic password. So you have a bunch of different options here, and of course. One of the other nice feature here that I just want to demonstrate is that the door will auto lock if you have it set that way. So if we had this flipped over, it would stay unlocked, But if you want it so that the door position sensor will lock the door when you close it, you'd want to have it in this position. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that now. Now I will say that you can't have much resistance, okay? So if you have a little bit of resistance, you could take a file and file out the receiving side of your jamb. But hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you like this product, give me that thumbs up. And if you want to check it out for yourself, just click the link down below, read the reviews, and also check out the EleMake installation video. They did a really nice job with their video as well, alright? Hey, if you're not a subscriber and you want to see more of this type of stuff, hit that subscribe button for me. Thanks for watching.